Carnival Cruise Line is down 80% since the beginning of this year in January 2020. Is now a good time to buy the stock now that it's around $10 a share? Or is Carnival going to capsize, go bankrupt, and leave investors hung out to dry? Well, after watching this video, you're going to have an up-to-date understanding of exactly all the efforts Carnival Cruise Line is making to help keep their company afloat in this insanely difficult economic time. As well as I'm going to share with you my outlook on kind of what the aftermath is going to look like for this company based on all the bad negative news that they've received due to the whole pandemic we're facing right now. And I'm also going to share with you how many shares I have invested in Carnival Cruise Lines, as well as some crazy breaking news that kind of just happened this morning on April 6th that has to do with a Saudi Arabian public investment fund that actually bought 43.5 million shares of Carnival Cruise Line. So this is really good news for Carnival in terms of it staying afloat, but we're going to break all that down. And trust me, guys, I've watched so many videos on this, and actually Carnival Cruise Lines has one of my bigger positions in all the stocks I'm holding right now. So I'm really paying close attention to this. So I'm really happy you guys happen to stumble upon my video. And if at any point in time you found value in this video, please be sure to drop a thumbs up because it really pushes the YouTube algorithm to share this video with more people, and that really helps the channel. And I really appreciate all you guys taking time to watch this video. So before I jump into the meat of this video, I want to remind you guys I'm not a certified financial advisor or anything like that, so please take every word I'm saying with a grain of salt and make sure to do your own research, and always never play with money you can't afford to lose in the stock market, guys. That's a huge key that you want to keep in mind, especially when we see all these opportunities. You may feel like you want to pull money out of your retirement fund or savings accounts. Just kind of stay away from that. And as an investor, we want to remain patient. We don't know when the bottom is going to hit, and especially during a time like this that we haven't seen in 100 years or something like that, this is not the time to just be throwing money around all crazy like, okay? So the biggest question I feel like all you guys out there and every investor has on their mind is it going to go bankrupt or is it going to stay afloat? So even though Carnival Cruise Lines has a headquarters in Doral, Florida, they're not going to be getting any of this $2.2 trillion stimulus money issued out by the federal government in the United States because the real company is actually based in Panama. So that's a Central American country and it's kind of a tax haven. So they're not paying US taxes and therefore they're not going to be getting bailed out. Now, aside from that, you can imagine all the cruise lines are literally shut down. Their revenue right now is a fat zero. It's a big old goose egg. They're not making any money right now. So even though they made $330 something million in the first part of Q1, they're really down $770 something million right now, and they're making zero revenue, guys. This is really hard to hear if you are a big time stakeholder, and they basically have to repay $4.7 billion in prepaid customer deposits that people are planning to go take cruises, and now they can't do it. So they have to repay all of these customers, and Carnival Cruise is actually doing certain things to bring their company back up, which I'm going to cover in just a moment. But other than that, they've cut their dividends to investors, which used to be a really steady thing. They've actually been really consistent with paying investors out with dividends. And they've also cut back on all stock buybacks. Now, kind of looking at my analysis of what I think the aftermath is going to look like with this cruise line after the pandemic blows away, I don't think we're going to see a shoot up and a nice V curve on cruise lines, basically for the reason that, as you can probably imagine, not a lot of customers want to go hop on cruise ships right away. That's kind of a tight enclosed place, and I think a lot of people are going to be nervous to go take cruises right away. So unlike even airline stocks that might have a more vertical pattern after this whole pandemic leaves, I don't think we're going to see the same with cruise line stocks, which is a little hard for me to hear and for me to kind of understand because of all the shares I have invested. So cruise lines are probably going to have to cut their costs down quite a bit in order to entice new customers and existing customers to go hop on a cruise ship right after this whole pandemic. So we're going to see a slower increase of this stock price over time, but if it doesn't go BK, bankrupt, I think we're still going to see this stock continue to climb. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the new things that Carnival Cruise Line is doing to raise money for their company. And this is actually going to kind of affect the aftermath as well, because all their debts they're going to have to pay back are going to take quite a bit of time. So that's also going to affect the stock price. So Carnival Cruise Line has made quite a few efforts in order to stay sailing and keep above water. And as we look here, we can see that Carnival has raised $6.25 billion in new debt and equity. And this actually was broken down into $4 billion, which came from bonds maturing in 2023 And the problem is that they have to pay such a high interest rate on this. There's literally like an 11.5 or 12% interest rate on these bonds, which is extremely high. They also raised an additional $1.5 billion in convertible notes with a 5.75% coupon, which is again quite a bit to be paying on this kind of an investment to keep themselves alive. And they also have a public offering of 6.25 million common shares at $8 a share. Now, with all these debts mounting on their balance sheet, that's what's giving me the feeling like it's going to take a longer road for Carnival to get back to where they want to be at before everything seems as normal, as opposed to some US companies like even the airline stocks that are probably going to bounce back a bit more because they're, number one, getting bailed out by the US government, and number two, they don't have this much debt they're piling on their company at such high interest rates. Now, there is still some hope, and that's what I want to share with you guys about the 43 million shares that the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund just invested in today, guys. This is some good hope and letting me know that there are people trying to get in and keep this company afloat. Now, all those shares equal out to about an 8.2% stake in Carnival Cruise. And with all the oil money, and as I've seen oil prices even starting to surge a bit in my stock portfolio, I see that this is still a sign that there are people trying to keep this thing above water. Now, for me personally, I have 105 shares of Carnival Cruise right now, and I started buying it on March 5th at around $28 a share. Now, I've dollar cost averaged my price down, so my average stock price right now is $13.49, which is very low. So at any point in time in the future we pass this mark, I can start to see massive returns on this investment since I have so many shares. And as you guys can see on the graph here, the average stock price during normal market conditions was around $50 to even $55 in the last year on this company. Now, like I said, it may take a couple years even, maybe not just months, but even a couple, 2-3 years before we see the company getting back to this amount. Otherwise, I'm going to lose about $1,400 I have invested in this company. But at the end of the day, guys, if you check out more videos on my channel, I talk a lot about Amazon FBA. I built a passive income source for me, generating money enough where I can afford to lose $1,400 investing in things like this. I'm willing to risk that to see a massive upside. And I'm banking on the fact that they won't go bankrupt because of, number one, that kind of massive investment of the shareholders from Saudi Arabia. And number two, I don't think this whole pandemic is going to last forever, guys. And with a lot of my other companies, I'm seeing a lot of green on my stock portfolio today. And that's just the sign of the times. There's already a lot that's gone into factoring these very low prices we saw in the stock market. So I can't say for sure that the bottom has hit now, but this is a very weird situation we're in right now. So I think that there's time for the market to shoot back up almost as fast as it fell with some other markets. Now, with Carnival Cruise in particular, I don't think it's going to happen right off the bat, but you can't look at this as something that's going to be here for years and cause a massive depression. Trump even wants to turn the economy back on as fast as possible, and I'm starting to hear in the news that there's little cures and things like that and remedies that are really helping cure people of this. So I don't know what to really think at this point. I know this is kind of a risky investment. So should you buy some shares at $10? Well, I don't think the price is going to fall too much lower, as we've already seen and factored in a lot of this negative pricing from all the bad news out there already into the stock price. So it can't get too much lower unless they're really going to start going bankrupt. But when we've seen the highs around $50 and it's at 10 right now, you can't really lose that much if you at least buy 5 or 10 shares of it. It's something that you can just have as your risky investment, but there's other stocks that you can get into like Boeing and way more stable companies that are still going to bounce back. There's other companies that aren't even hit that hard from this whole pandemic like Amazon, so it doesn't make sense to go buy those companies. You want to get in and make the most of your dollar and get companies that are dropped down a huge percentage but have a really good name behind them. And that's kind of what I have to say about that. So buy some Carnival if it's your risky investment and you think it's going to survive. I think that there's a better chance that Carnival Cruise does not go bankrupt, but it's all up to you guys, and what you think at the end of the day is going to be what you guys need to go with. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this. Do you think it's a really good opportunity? Drop a comment below if you think it's going to go bankrupt, or how many shares do you have? How many are you holding? Are you buying? Are you selling? I want to hear what you guys say, because in the last video I did, we had a bunch of awesome feedback, and it's spurred me to make this video. I can link up above the last video I did that talks about the 3 best airline stocks I figured to invest in. And I'll give you a little spoiler alert. Number 1 was Boeing, and I actually have my average price at around 130 bucks. I have 10 shares of that, and I'm up about $100 right now because it's around 140 something bucks right now. So as for the question, am I buying more Carnival shares? And I actually bought 2 more this morning at this considerably low price, but I'm still gonna do my normal method of just dollar cost averaging and seeing how things are gonna play out over this month. Now, if Trump decides to turn the economy back on and we see that good news stimulating the market, maybe I'll put in a few more dollars in there if I'm really certain the company's not gonna go bankrupt, but I'm gonna continue watching more and more videos as well as staying up to date with all the financial news on the internet. And I please urge you guys to subscribe to my channel and check out some more of my videos, because the stock market is only something I'm starting to invest in because I've created basically a reoccurring passive income with just 4 products on Amazon. Guys, I private label my own products and then I launch them on Amazon, where Amazon stores the product in their warehouses and ships it out to customers. And I basically create a passive income and make massive profit margins on products that I private label. So if you're interested in any of that, I also have a full course on that, and I do one-on-one coaching and mentorship after people finish that course. So it's something you guys can look into. I know we all have a lot of downtime right now sitting around at home, and stocks are something that, you know, you invest in. And in my game, I like to invest for the long run. So it's not something that I'm looking to pull money out and just use that to pay my bills. No, I already have all that covered, but it's something that I put in there to start growing it instead of keeping it in a bank account. So I really just kind of started getting into stocks just a few months ago. And this is something that's really inspiring me, that I'm getting in at this very low point right now. I didn't even put money in until the beginning of March for my first time ever in the stock market. And I will also leave that video linked up here for you guys to check out the first time I invested, and I bought some of ExxonMobil shares, and that's already proving to produce some profits for me right now. But if you guys want to make money that can pay your bills and fund some more of your stock endeavors, definitely look into Amazon FBA. I mean, I graduated college and realized I don't want to go get a 9-to-5, and this is the best thing I can do for myself to create my own passive income so I can go do the things I want to do. So thanks a lot, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Please drop a thumbs up, like I said in the beginning of this video, if you found any bit of value here. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and let's hope this stock market shoots right back up to the moon. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.